By the end of this video, we're gonna demonstrate how you can increase your earnings by adjusting your price and why you should take another look at it. I did not come up with this. I am getting this from Alex Hermosy, and the link to the source video is below, but I wanted to share it with you because it made me think. I'm thinking I'm not very smart. Other folks might be wondering the same thing. So this is how it applies to me. We're gonna get started. All right, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take a product that you sell and you're going to just write down the price. For easy math, let's say it's $100. Now, you should 10x the price, 50x the price, and 100x the price. And just look at the numbers. I know you're freaking out. I can't sell that handbag made of leather for $700. What? Who am I? No one knows who I am. Regardless of what your industry of your business is, you should consider selling a more costly item. And in a little bit, we're gonna show you a trick on how to set a price that's higher as a whale that people aren't gonna buy, but they're gonna compare your product to what you really want them to buy. And they're gonna say, you know what, that middle product that's a lot cheaper than that unreasonably high product. The basics that Alex Hermosy stands on is that there is no strategic advantage of being the second cheapest in a market, which is a race to the bottom. There is a strategic advantage to being the cheapest. Think Walmart, think, food for less, think about the low end people, but they're competing on massive volume. Odds are you're not Walmart, otherwise you're not gonna be watching me right now. Odds are that you are competing against juggernauts everywhere. So what if you just sold fewer of the things that you do at a higher price point to different people? Well, how am I supposed to do that? I'm just a commodity, right? When you are competing at this low price point, you are a commodity. How do you get yourself out of that commodity thinking and into, hey, this is actually really good value? I'll show you how now. All right, back to earlier. We said 10x, 50x, and 100x your price. What is that for? What's the point of that? That's called price anchoring. We are gonna set a price extremely high, and that high price is then going to be the first thing that people see. The second thing, for whatever reason, have the money and it makes them feel more exclusive, and you say, boom, I want that. Now, great example. I'm signing up for Ryan Pineda's WealthCon this week. And first price is a $5,000 MVP ticket. Be at all the after parties and special events and blah, blah, blah. And that's all fine and dandy. Then under that was $2,500, gave you almost the same things, minus one or two things that the $5,000 one. Then there was the entry level $1,000 one, which gave you almost nothing except for entry event. So naturally, I'm comparing the $2,500 price point against the $5,000 price point. That gives you almost the same thing, right? This is probably the product he wanted to sell anyway. And then I'm like, you know what? That's a pretty good deal. And I get so much more than this $1,000 just attending events. Look at that. He is using that psychology on me and it's working. So again, you're raising your price and offering an unreasonably pricey one for two reasons. First one is all the rest of your prices are gonna be compared against that first price. And you wanted them to shock them. Oh, I can't afford that. Okay, well, good. You just shocked them. Everything else seems more reasonable. Really, you wanted to sell that handbag anyways. You didn't want to sell the $800 handbag, but you can sell the $400 handbag when really you were selling the handbag for $100 after you slaved away on it in your craft room, sewing that leather the whole time. High price, medium price, really what you want to sell it for, $300-400, and then you have your entry-level stuff that gets you non-customized things. And then the last thing, and then the secondary purpose is, some buyers are gonna say, yeah, hell yeah, $1,000, that's nothing. I'll buy that handbag. $5,000 for that event? Nothing. I'll go to that one. I definitely want to go to that. Remember, you control all the cards. So what you're trying to communicate to your customer is value. We just kind of strategically showed you. You place the higher one to anchor their expectations to that. And then the medium term, which is what you really want them to buy, gets them a comparison point. And then you have your low tier. Now you have high volume stuff on your low tier, or stuff you want to get rid of on your low tier, or stuff that's work once, pay many. Let's say I'm selling a course. The low tier gets you access to the course. It doesn't cost you. You already did the work, but you can include that in your pricing. Medium tier, not as special as the high end, but you're creating that strategy where people have the comparison point. So it's the ABC strategy. Which one are they going to pick? And on that same note, people that aren't commodity shopping aren't looking for the cheapest thing. Even if they are commodity shopping, they're looking for a great deal, right? And it works on us all the time. When you see something that's $100 at Walmart and it's marked down to $60, I might be interested in that thing, when really they wanted to sell it at $60 the whole time. It's giving people the perceived value. What do I get in exchange for this price? Again, there's the thing that Alex will say all the time. If I were to sell you a Ferrari today and I said, come up with $10,000 and I'll give you this Ferrari, almost every one of us would figure out to beg, borrow, and steal to get the $10,000 so you can get a Ferrari. And the reason why, you know the value of that Ferrari is way up here. $300,000, $200,000, but you only are paying $10,000. The value is a poor person, a homeless person will figure out how to do it if they can get that $3,000 thing for $10,000, right? You're gonna stop, you're gonna pick up extra shifts, whatever it is, right? Now, all of a sudden, you have created that value perception, right? So what you're doing with your strategy is you are anchoring people's expectations up here, giving them almost the same value for a significantly reduced cost. Guess what? The game's rigged. You control the cost. And I am not a salesy person. I never thought to think like this. I'm an operations guy. I'm terrible at sales. And so I applied it to my own pricing structure. I know. Yes, if you see all the prices on the courses that I offer and the coaching and the bringing me on site to fix your company, yes, I'm actually doing the things I'm currently talking about. And again, remember, the goal is to communicate the value that you provide. Ryan Pineda's marketing event, WealthCon, is communicating the value to me at this $2,500 price point. You actually get almost everything in $5,000, but not quite. Why don't you go ahead and just buy this one? If you're gonna be selling handbags because you're a leather worker in your basement, you're gonna say, hey, yeah, I will custom make you all these fancy things exactly how you want, $1,000 or $800. So if you can get that perceived value from your middle tier to be almost as valuable as that crazy high expensive one, that is where you do all your winnings, because you control the narrative. People don't understand that, or it's a trick and people know that they're being tricked and they don't care. That's why something's $299 at the store instead of $300. The last thing to consider is, who are you selling for? Are you a business to end customer, or are you a business to business? If you're selling handbags, you're making it and you're selling it to the forever. You're gonna have to set your pricing around a individual, a real human. If you're selling from a business to business, well, businesses charge money all the time to other businesses because they perceive the value of getting ahead. If I pay you X, then I'm gonna get Y, so price accordingly. A great example, if you hire me to come on your site, I'm gonna charge you $100,000 for the week. Why? Because on average, we turn $200,000 to $250,000 for a small 5-person company per year of value every year forever. So the question is, would you pay me $100,000 to make $200,000 by next year, and then every year after that it'll grow and scale? My goal is so you never bring me back, right? And so think about your pricing accordingly. I can't charge $100,000 for the handbag, or I probably, but I can charge that to a business. So think about what your market industry is doing and price your things accordingly. Consider implementing the different price level. Very, very simple, straightforward. You guys got this. If you're watching me, guys, in the link below, if you want more tips, tricks, things like that, make sure you check it out below. I also have merch coming down the pipe. I'm wearing some of it, but this is from my other channel, my homesteading channel. And again, the YouTube algorithm, some guy behind a computer, boop, and my video, my channel's gonna be gone. So if you wanna stay in touch, there's a link to a newsletter down below. And guys, get out there, learn the struggle, fix what bugs you. We'll see you next time. You're gonna go kill it.